Thom Hartmann here with you. Boy, there's for the last day of the year, functionally. I mean, it's New Year's Eve is what, Sunday night? Yeah, Sunday night. And Monday is New Year's Day. We're going to take Monday off. We've got a nice best of planned for you, and we'll be back on Tuesday. But it's what a bizarre year. I mean, this was the first year that Donald Trump was president. What a bizarre year. But it's not just the politics that are bizarre. I mean, the economics, the whole zeitgeist of our culture. It's almost like the Trump presidency has brought into stark relief, into clear view, all of the various dysfunctions in our economy and our body politic that have been brought about by, I would argue, basically the Powell memo of 1971, when Lewis Powell said to conservatives and business people, we have to start taking over the institutions of America. We have to take over the universities. We have to take over the government. We have to take over the courts. We have to take, as business people, we have to get politically involved. We have to take, we have to take over the public schools. We have to, I mean, we got to do everything, right? And they did. And here we are. And now basically everything has been financialized. Everything has been turned into a potential revenue source. For example, your kid has a new app on their phone, right? Let's say that the app is Teeth Fixed or Zap Balloons. These are, according to the New York Times, programs for little kids. Well, they contain a piece of software. The piece in the New York Times today is by Sapna Maheshwari, and it's titled "That game on your phone may be tracking what you're watching on TV." Yes. At first glance, the gaming apps with names like Pool 3D, Beer Pong Trick Shot, and Real Bowling Strike 10 Pin seem innocuous. One called Honeyquest features Jumbo, an animated bear. Yet these apps, once downloaded into a smartphone, had the ability to keep tabs on the viewing habits of their users. The way it works is they turn on the microphone on your phone, and they just continuously listen. And they can hear what you're watching on TV. The article notes the apps use software from Alfonso, a startup that collects TV viewing data for advertisers that can be used to target ads more precisely. More than 250 games that use this software are available in the Google Play Store. Some are also available in Apple's App Store. The software can detect sounds even when the phone is in a pocket if the apps are running in the background, which really demonstrates this idea that if you're not paying for something, you are probably the product that's being sold. Which is really a kind of sad commentary. I mean, it used to be, all right, the good old days. It used to be people would put information on the internet because they wanted other people to know about it, or people would develop games because, hey, it was fun and it was cool, that maybe we could make a little money here, crowdsourcing them or something. Now it's completely gone to spyware, essentially. What happened to the Fourth Amendment? What happened to our notions of privacy? We're putting Google speakers and Amazon speakers in our homes that constantly monitor everything that's going on, in our homes. You've got police departments now and state attorneys general who are looking at how to use or change the laws so that if somebody in your home has been accused of committing a crime in the last year, they can go back to whichever company you have the smart speaker from and ask them for, since everything you say goes up into the cloud, goes onto the servers of these giant corporations, ask them for everything that was said in your house during the month of November, for example. I mean, really? That, now there's to be fair, some of these manufacturers are suggesting that they don't actually gather all that information, that their smart speakers wait for the magic word to turn them on, and then they gather the information. But, law enforcement has been saying something somewhat different, or at least the news. So what's happened? Our Fourth Amendment rights, that's your right to privacy. The Fourth Amendment says you can be secure in your person and papers and home against unreasonable search and seizure. Our obviously, you know, the whole point of the Fourth Amendment is to protect us from government. It provides you the Fourth Amendment provides you with no protection whatsoever from Google, for example. But still, the Fourth Amendment reflects, or reflected, maybe up until the last 15 years or so, reflected this idea that anonymity is a good thing, privacy is a good thing. Without anonymity, there never would have been an American Revolution. Without privacy, you know, a lot of actually great things, arguably a lot of terrible things too. I mean, the anti-privacy rant or rap is always, hey, you know, we got to stop the terrorists. But with privacy, lots of good things have happened as well, and we no longer seem to value that. And I find that just extraordinary. That you don't and I don't even know. I mean, every now and then you find a really great app. Oh, this is, even if you pay for it, you may not know whether or not it's being used to spy on you. This is, by the way, not a new technology. This is you know, been around for a long time. They use it for collecting ratings information on radio shows. You know, people are designated to wear these little contraptions that listen to what they're listening to so that they can find out which shows they're watching, stuff like that. So, I mean, this has been around for a while, but in the past, you know, you actually had to apply to be a person who would, or that maybe they solicited you, I'm not sure, but whatever, to be a person who would actually carry a device that's going to listen to everything you listen to. That's a completely different thing than having your phone be the device and you don't know it. So what do we do about that? Or do we simply say, okay, that's it. Privacy is dead. Amazon knows everything. And what they don't know, Google knows. And by the way, they're totally entitled to sell all their information to each other. But it even goes, you know, in some ways a step beyond that. And I don't know if it was Pat Sweeney or if it was Sue who just posted in our chat room, the age of access, the new culture of hyper-capitalism. I guess that's what I'm talking about here. Is this new culture, everything seems designed to make a buck. And, you know, there are times in life when not making a buck seems like a fairly important thing. You know, there's, you know, having good public services. You know, in other countries, like in most European countries, most of the developed countries in the world, for example, you know, things like the internet, electricity, and whatnot, they're considered utilities. They're considered virtually a right, you know, something that should be better for all of us. But instead what happens is here in the United States anyway, post-Reagan, is that anything that can be privatized is being privatized. Our private prisons, for example, private prisons were fading, right, before the election of Donald Trump, because President Obama had explicitly said, you know, private prisons are not a public good. I mean, he didn't literally say that in those words, but words to that effect, and put us on a course to phase out at least many of our private prisons in the United States. And in fact, this is from The Guardian, the piece by Jamilese Lartley. 16 months ago, the outlook for private prisons seemed bleak. That was when the Obama Department of Justice announced it was phasing out their use. Well, now this tax bill, the Trump tax bill, prison firms that restructure as real estate investment trusts see substantial tax cuts. Individual investors in U.S. private prisons are poised to collect their most lucrative earnings ever, thanks to changes in the tax code signed by Donald Trump.